Marco A. Chavez, left after receiving his pardon, which allows him to return to the United States. Hector Barajas, center, also was pardoned. Zuma PressAlamy stock photo Los Angeles. A Marine Corps veteran who has been living in Mexico for 15 years will return to California this week, in what may be the first time a veteran deported for a criminal conviction has been allowed back into the United States. The former Marine, Marco A. Chavez, was among 3 deported veterans pardoned in April by Gov. Jerry Brown of California. The pardon set off a chain of events that allowed Mr. Chavez's green card, or legal permanent residency, to be restored. Mr. Chavez is likely to cross the Mexico-United States border on Thursday to reunite with his family. "I'm excited, and I feel good," said Mr. Chavez, 45, who has lived in Tijuana since being deported after serving time for animal cruelty. Having not seen his family in years, he added, "I'm also very nervous." His wife, Jackie Waite, and their 3 sons, who were 2, 4 and 5 when Mr. Chavez was deported, moved to Tijuana briefly but relocated to Iowa within months. Since then, he and his wife have divorced and he has seen his sons only once in more than a decade. Citizenship is not a requirement to join the military. A green card suffices. But, like other legal permanent residents, veterans who commit crimes can be deported. The government does not keep a tally of deported veterans. The American Civil Liberties Union has documented at least 200 cases, but Jenny Pasquarella, a lawyer with the ACLU of Southern California, said the number is most likely higher. The overwhelming majority of those deported have been convicted of drug-related crimes, including possession and trafficking. Nathan Fletcher, a veteran and former California assemblyman who began an advocacy group called Honorably Discharged, Dishonorably Deported, personally lobbied Governor Brown to pardon Mr. Chavez and the 2 other veterans, who, like Mr. Chavez, had been honorably discharged from the military. Mr. Fletcher and the ACLU said that Mr. Chavez was the first to be allowed to return to the United States, and that they hoped he would be the first of many. "Deporting vets is like leaving a brother or sister behind on the field of battle, and we won't rest until they all come home," Mr. Fletcher said. The governor also pardoned Erasmo Apodaca, 47, a former Marine, and Hector Barajas, 40, an Army veteran. Mr. Barajas, who served during Operation Desert Storm, established a deported veterans support house in Tijuana to assist removed veterans. Their pardons cleared the way for them to apply for citizenship, and they will be allowed to return to the United States once their applications have been approved. The California legislature has taken steps to assist foreign-born veterans, including allocating funds in the 2018 budget to pay for legal representation for those facing deportation or already removed. Several bills have been introduced in Congress to address the issue, but none have advanced. Mr. Chavez was brought to the United States by his parents when he was 1 year old and grew up in Los Angeles. He graduated from high school and served 4 years in the Marines. He was convicted in 1998 of animal cruelty for maiming a dog, according to court papers, and spent 10 months in prison. After his release, he did construction-related plumbing and electrical work. He was deported in 2002 and until now has been barred from entering the United States. Once the pardon was granted, an immigration judge was asked to reinstate Mr. Chavez's green card, and he agreed. In a statement, the Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency said it was aware of the court's decision and was reviewing it for legal purposes. In a phone interview, Mr. Chavez said that his first several years in Mexico were extremely difficult, spent learning Spanish and trying to find work. For the last several years, he has been working at a call center, helping Americans with questions about money they owe on their cars and other loans. Among his coworkers, he said, are many other deportees. He rode a bus to work and back each day, and said the money he earned was just enough to pay rent and food. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Ms. Waite, his ex-wife, said that her sons have a difficult time talking about their father. Their youngest son, Xavier, now 17, said of the man he barely knows, "I feel glad that he is coming back so that he is not all the way in Mexico and I can see him, I guess." Since the deportation, the family has had get by on welfare and handouts because Ms. Waite has a degenerative back condition that impairs her ability to work consistently. This has caused a lot of anxiety in my life, she said, erupting in tears. The boys would ask for years, "Where is Daddy? When are we going to see him?" A version of this article appears in print on December 19, 2017, on page A16 of the New York edition with the headline, "15 years after deportation, Marine is free to return."